Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shai by Shem Kakwadash. I'm going to title this video, Keep the Sabbath Holy, or Make the Sabbath Holy Again. Anyway, before I go into this, I'm in Isaiah 58, verse 13 and 14, as you can see on the screen. Dealing with the Sabbath, of course. And the conversation is whether you can have sex on the Sabbath and you cannot have sex on the Sabbath. And at this point, I remember at one point we used to get on GOCC when they went off, like this free doctrine and other doctrines. Edomites. If you notice, we don't get on the GOCC. That none of the camps really. GOCC is like a whole. It's like part of that Christian, group, that Christian category. They're not even really Israelites. They just call themselves Israelites. But so if you notice, we don't do videos on them because I don't. First of all, you do videos on somebody if they do a video. If that particular group or that person does a video and you see it and you maybe listen to part of it, you know that they're going off. And, you do a video, not so much for them because they're not going to see it because they're full of pride. Once they got it, they think they have the whole truth, and the Most High is dealing with them. That's the problem. That's why when you tell somebody they're going off, they don't want to see it because they, in their heart of hearts, they know that the Most High is dealing with them. They know they have 100% truth. So, at this point, man, it's pointless to even deal with IUIC. The reason why we do those videos is for other people that, they're watching these window shoppers and these people that are like children tossed to and fro of every wind of doctrine. They might be listening to some IUIC, and they might be listening to ISUPK, and they might be listening to GMS, and they might be listening to, various Sakari or whatever, Wi-Fi. And, one group might teach one thing that the next group is going off on, and we'll say you're going off on that, but you're going off on this. Anyway, we put these videos up to let people know that these other groups are going off. Now, if you don't accept it and you go with them, that's on you. We warned you. As I've said, the last video I did, Ezekiel chapter 3. Warn them so that the blood be off of our hands. So if you say, well, I didn't know it, and those Israelites said, no, Israelites didn't deceive you. It was a particular Israelite group that deceived you. Like the flea doctrine. Anyway, the video I did yesterday was like like a counter to the video that we woke now, I believe it's called. And they came on the scene. That group came on the scene. I don't know, within the last 2 years, maybe. I don't know, maybe 3, but never heard of them. Back in 2007, 2008, 2015, 2019. Never heard of them. You got a lot of these groups just popping up on the scene, like a lot of these other, like Wi-Fi and True Nation, and there's so many of them that clearly got the inspiration from watching GMS, IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari coming on the scene. And they, instead of them, they'll watch the videos, they might go out and meet us. And then they'll kind of they'll do their own thing. And they'll follow the model of any of the former One West camps. They'll get the T-shirts with the fringes on it, or sometimes they have the garments, and they'll have the sign. And a lot of them have the 12 tribe sign and don't even know how to really break down the sign. And then they'll call on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. And when you hear someone pronounce the word The Most High's name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, not Yeshua or Yeshaya, as GOCC is way to fuck off. Ahia and Yeshaya. Nobody on the planet Earth calls the Most High Ahia and Yeshaya. So the Most High is getting ready to drop them like a bad habit. But anyway, the controversy. I did a video week and a half ago. And so recently, the elder out of Dallas, the head of the Dallas camp, Yashawamba, had did a response to a video that the elder Karatazar out of Vegas did, head of Vegas. And they were dealing with the recent video that the IUIC did. And I believe I didn't see this. I hadn't seen the video yet, IUIC video, but I believe it's kind of like a response to the video that I did on the sex on the Sabbath. And now anybody that's teaching that, and you go ahead and follow those people, that's on you. That's on you. So the commandments, the first 10. Matter of fact, let me go to that so I can read it concerning the Sabbath. If somebody near and dear to you got in a car accident and they're in a hospital, you don't know if they're gonna make it. You're not thinking about, let me go have sex with my woman right now. I know my loved one needs me in the hospital. I'm gonna get it in right now. No, you don't think that. You think your focus is on them getting well. The day of a funeral, it's for a loved one of yours. You're not thinking about, going to I don't know, Great Adventures or Disney. We're gonna go, and then after that, we'll go to the funeral. No, you're in a somber, like you're like in a holy state. There's certain things, you're in a holy state. So that's the way you keep the Sabbath. The way you kept the Sabbath in the ancient world was you prepared a meal, and when the sun went down, you ate the meal, and you went to sleep. You got up, you got yourself together to go to the temple to read from the Torah, because you had what we call the Sabbath service, and we do that at the main school every Saturday. Which they were going off on a Saturday. The Sabbath is based upon the new moon, and we the only ones that teach that. And then you got Sakari to teach it, which they got it. Obviously, they got it from us. They said it made sense, so we're gonna keep it like that. And we did videos proving that the Sabbath is based upon the new moon. And the new moon is when the moon is dark, not when the moon is full. So you got up, you went to the temple. Your mindset is a day of holiness dedicated to the Lord, not dedicated to what you do. Not only you can't have sex on the Sabbath, you can't play a round of golf on the Sabbath. You can't watch a fight on the Sabbath. We used to get together, and back in the day there'd be a big fight. If it fell on the Sabbath, we didn't watch that fight. We waited till the following day at the end of the Sabbath, then you can watch the fight on a repeat, no matter how big the fight was. So let me go here to Exodus. Back to the basics. Exodus 20. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it what? Holy, Kodash, righteous, holy. Now, the man that got stoned for picking up sticks on the Sabbath, now the people that stoned him picked up stones, right? So they break the Sabbath? No, they were executing law. The man picked up sticks on the Sabbath because he was doing his will instead of focusing on the Most High. So you can't pick up sticks, bend down and pick up 2 or 3 sticks on the Sabbath, but you can get it in with your woman. How stupid? That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. Exodus 2, verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Okay, remember is the word zakar. Remember means to call to mind. Zakar. Give me a second. The hell I just do? Remember, mention. Now, there's another precept that comes to mind, and I'll read it in a minute. Mention, remembrance, recorder, mindful. This is in your mind, but it is in your. But is it in your mind? Think, think upon. Bring to remembrance, record. Make a memorial, make remembrance. When you have a memorial for somebody's, you're honoring somebody. You know, even in this system, you have Memorial Day, you have these different days. Last day that they have their own holy days or holidays, which is called Memorial Day to remember the fallen and the various wars. So you take, but see, people they'll have cookouts and stuff, but really, you supposed to, you know, like families that have relatives that husbands or uncles or whatever that died. That's a somber day. That's not a day of rejoicing because they're remembering. They might have a dinner, and they might have the picture of the guy that died, up there, and they'll remember him. They might say, "Let's put our heads down." That's how you take the Sabbath, and I'm gonna show you that. So the word says, "Remember the Sabbath," right? I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. It doesn't mean remember where you left your keys. Where's my keys? Let me think back. Remember meaning to call to mind, to be solemn. See, the Passover is a solemn assembly. It's not a feast like Purim. And Purim is not a Sabbath. Purim is a festival of joyfulness. Okay, let me see. Okay, here it is right here. This is what I wanted. Exodus 32, verse 13. Remember, I'm sorry, Exodus 23, verse 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. Circumspect, circum meaning to around, and spec means to look around. Look, keep, search, look at your surroundings. and make no mention of the God of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. Now I can say Allah and God and Jesus and Christ. If I'm reading a certain book, or I'm just saying whom the world ignorantly calls Christ, I'm just saying that name, Christ, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? But the word that I want out of this is mention. Mention just doesn't mean to say it. You know, Allah, Jesus, God, Christ. Mention is to bring it to mind, honor it. You know, so when the IUIC says, who's the King Christ? Who's the King Christ? That's called a praise. When you say something in unison and you got your fist up and say, who's the King Christ? You're praising somebody. You know, when Ali back in the day when he won, Ali, they're praising the man because he won. If he loses, they're not gonna say Ali, Ali. They're gonna have their heads down. Ali, Ali, Ali. They're praising the man. So when you say who's the king, you're saying who is the king? Who is the king of the universe, which is under the Most High. Then you say Christ. No, you're supposed to lift up his name, that the Most High's name may be remembered. We were going through that yesterday. Speaks about the name. Let me see if I can find that. So the word mention means to call to mind. Remember is to take the members of something and bring them back together. You call it to mind. When you say I remember something, you call it back to mind. So that's what it means when it says mention. When you praise the name of Jesus Christ, the churches do that. So you already know the name because when you watch IUIC videos, they'll say Christ this and Most High and Christ bless. But then every once in a while, if you notice, they'll say Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. I heard I got the video somewhere where Abba Yel, it used to be Abba Yala, which was Lashawan Kwadash. And he said, one of the classes, I think he said Jesus. And then he quickly said, he said Yahweh Shai. Why did he say that? And they get mad at us for getting on him, but they're saying it now. Had we not got on them, they would have get Christ this and Jesus that. And they didn't, and you wouldn't have that meeting. You had a meeting where you sat down and said, we're not going to call on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. We're going to call him Christ. I would have either got up right then and there and did an Irish exit, looked that up, or maybe I would have sat there. Nah, I would have got up. First of all, I said, what? I said, no, I ain't doing that shit. Fuck that. I said, fuck that. I ain't doing that bullshit. Well, you out of order. You come back. Well, you don't got to kick me out. I already left. You know, you can't fire me. I already quit. I would have got up if you know the rest of the apostles was there. We would have looked at each other and like, what? We would have nod my head. We would have all got up and left. And they said, where y'all going? I said, we getting out of here. We getting the fuck out of here. Well, let's explain. There's nothing to explain. There's no explanation, man. No, nothing to sit down, explain, get some motherfucking understanding. All right? That's how you know a group is going off. What happened when the Tazadakia took over? What did one of the first thing he did when he got that leadership position? Oh, we don't all of a sudden, but he's the Holy Spirit. He's the Holy Spirit. How can the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, not know the name of Yahweh Shai? Oh, we don't know the name of Yahweh Shai. But that's the motherfucking Comforter. That's a goddamn Comforter right there. Didn't it say the Comforter will teach you all things? Huh? Doesn't it say that? Oh, but we don't really know the name of the Son, but we're gonna call him Bun Yahweh. And them guys just like zombies. They just accepted it. When the leadership of starting with Bishop Nate, whatever name, whatever guys he goes by, you know, at this time. General this or bishop that or elder this. When he said that speech, y'all was shocked. He said something. He didn't say a damn thing. I wasn't there, but ultimately he stayed with him and he started using Christ too. Shaka was there, and Shaka is a bug out. He's a complete bug out, man. What did he say? He said something. He's a bug out. He's gone. He's gone. He's gonna eat a missile. He's done. Who else you got there? You had he's Bishop Kanai. I remember Bishop Kanai and Abiel, Elder Abiel, when they were teaching, it was just them two. We talking about, 08, 09. And I remember every other thing that they would say Yahweh, and they would say Yahweh Shai. They would say Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Shaka did the same thing, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. I remember even Bishop Nathaniel or General Nathaniel Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Then all of a sudden, we're going to have a meeting. We're going to agree. I'm like, nah, I ain't with that shit. I ain't with that bullshit. Hey, the same thing goes back to the Cornelius, when we had the Cornelius Council. And that was there was almost fight. Ricard almost got into it with another dude. There was almost a physical fight in there that night. Y'all don't know how serious it was, man. And it was evil and wicked. It was evil and wicked. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Shalak Rayim to all you evil, wicked Israelites. That was an evil and wicked thing that you did. And then you kicked us out. And the guy that kicked us out, or the guy that said, don't even pray with them guys, it was Rahab, which he fell out the truth, which I knew he was going to fall out the truth. I can see certain guys and you say, this nigga, he ain't one of us, man. He gonna fall off eventually. He ain't one of us. He's just a nigga that floated around. He wound up committing adultery with Barak's woman, and everybody knew that Barak and his woman they were dealing with each other, man. Everybody knew that. Everybody and their mama knew that, man. When you walk from the camp with your woman hand in hand, and you don't know that they dealing with each other. Then he winds up popping, and she was out of order. That's why we don't got no woman in the school. We don't got no woman in our circle, man. She didn't stop it. She didn't say, no, I'm with Barak. She just got with the guy and they had sex. And then he just started dealing with her. And then the leadership, it should have got up back to the leadership to kick them the hell out. So what happened was the baby that they had was what do you call it? Mentally challenged baby, because that was a curse. That was a curse. All right. And like I said, she fell out. She went back into the world, and he went back into the world. Then I ran into him years ago. Believe it or not, it was Fordham Road, or the corner of Fordham Road and the L. The what chain? I don't know if that's a number 4, I think, something like that. And I, motioned to let a guy come in. Then it was this dude, and then he's smiling at me, right? He's like, he waving his hand, smiling. And I'm saying, look. I said, look at this motherfucker, man. And I gave him a dirty look, and I said, and I gave him that disgusted look. And then that smile turned into a frown. And I said, I put my hand, go ahead, motherfucker. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, either that nigga's dead right now, or he's in a fucking coma. If he's alive and well, he's gonna eat a missile. He's gonna eat a missile for what you niggas did on that night. Oh, Yahasha, he fell out the truth. He still knows he's an Israelite. He got a website. I ran into him a couple of times. And but he ain't out there on the highways and the byways. You see? So all these little niggas playing these demonic games, that was a wicked thing that you did. That's in Matthew chapter 10. They shall cast you out of their synagogues. They cast us out for righteousness, for what we did was righteous. We said that Cornelius is an Israelite. They said Cornelius is not an Israelite. We took the wrong, pursuant to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, Apostle Paul, and said, okay, we won't teach it. No big deal. Oh, I said, let's cast a lot. That's a spiritual thing. Bishop Nate, in all his wisdom, all his infinite wisdom say, you can't do that to her. That's wicked. I can show you scriptures where the lot is not wicked. Because if that was the case, Matthias shouldn't be one of the 12. Did not the apostles cast a lot? Casting lots ceases contentions. So casting a lot is a righteous act. You don't use it all the time. So, they kicked us out for teaching something righteous, for bringing something to mind. And the people, the masses didn't see it because they were zombies. Like I said, anytime you had an Israelite group or any religious group, 98% of them are fucking zombies, man. And that's no different today. Whatever this guy says, like I said, the so-called God sent comforter said, I am the comforter. Oh, we don't know the name of the Son of the Most High. but it says the comforter shall teach you all things, right? And then he committed adultery with somebody. So he had the Archangel Awards, which is complete bullshit. And he gave a trophy to a couple for a great marriage that they had, and he rewarded the wife by taking the wife from the guy and started dealing with the woman. That's why the Most High killed him, man. That's why the Most High killed him, because he was wicked as hell. And this stuff about the Sabbath, this you can have sex on the Sabbath, man, and none of those guys are stepping up to the plate. That's wicked as hell. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, he's getting ready to he getting ready to kill a lot of y'all, man. And see, that's what puts the fear in. I do this because I have fear for the Most High. I don't teach this. You think we teach about the charagma because we're just wicked as hell and we just want to teach it? Why would we do that? Why in the fuck would we do that, man? Now, I'm gonna say this. The IUIC or any other camp teaching that the MOTB is something other than what we say it is, you guys have been compromised, man. You guys, we believe you took the bag. Now the scriptures say, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, then it shall be known who are my chosen. Amos 9 speaks about the great sifting. The sifting meaning the Most High going to save the elect. Then the other guys that look like they may be the elect, he's just gonna put them to the side and destroy them. So this is serious, man. You telling somebody to do something that you know is wicked and not righteous. And ultimately, that's why this place is getting ready to burn. Oh, I want to say this too. I'm going into a lot of other things, but that's the spirit. They put up a flag for Pride Month, and they put up a flag. I think it was at the Capitol building. They put the happy flag in the middle, and they put American flags on either side, and they're equal to each other. Now, if you go, I believe it's Title 4. I believe it's Title 4 of the United States Code. If you know anything about the United States Code, you should study law. It tells you about, it's called the flag. I believe it's Title 4. It tells you that the flag, what the dimensions of the flag, and it tells you that when you put up a flag of another country or another state or whatever, the U.S. flag is always higher than all other flags. So if you put up 5 flags, the U.S. flag is higher, is propped up a little bit higher. So, check it out. Do the research yourself. The U.S. flag was not only in the middle, but it was a U.S. flag on one side, U.S. flag on another side, and then you had the happy flag in the middle, and it was equal to the U.S. flags. And all these lawyers out here, all these constitutional lawyers, they didn't say nothing. They didn't criticize this guy, huh? And this, they're just pretty much. It says in what is that? 2 Peter. Let me go to that. I got to find another tab. I got to open. Let me go to this one. I think it's 2 Peter. 2 Peter 2, if I'm not mistaken. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow of fire, making them and what? An ensample unto those that should live ungodly. So why was Sodom and Gomorrah, the 5 cities, the major cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, why was it destroyed? Because it was in the happyism. It was in the happyism. So the Most High took it out in an instant, fire from heaven, fire and brimstone. And it says, making them an ensample. We're going to look up the word ensample. I already know what it means. So they know. This is the hypocritical nation, as the scriptures speak about. Here they speak about this is a God-fearing country. When a president, I'm dealing with presidents, not governors or mayors, but a president swears in, they always swear in with their hand on the Bible, which they're going off. The Bible condemns you swearing on anything, but they swear in the Bible. And then they pass laws that are going against, contrary to the scriptures. And they're trying to push this shit to these other nations, which is the fornication in Revelation chapter 17. The golden cup in her hand filled with abominations and filthiness and wickedness and fornication is not the charagma, it's not the mark of the beast, dumbass. So for you to say that, you deceiving the people. And now one of them guys stood up against you, man. There's going to be a great shaking, man. Let judgment begin at the house of Israel. And this is a lack of fear for the Most High. You better think about anytime I do a video, I think about if I'm going off or am I breaking the scripture down right. We're not just that study to show thyself approved. A workman needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So the president, the leadership of this country, the governors, the mayors, the lawyers, they know the scripture because they say this is a Bible-based, God-fearing country, right? So let me look up the word ensample. Okay, let me let you listen to the word. 52:62. Hupadagma. Let me look up the definition. Example. So the Lord, the supreme power, gave you an example of what can happen when you do this type of wickedness. You're going to be destroyed by fire. That's why this place is going to be destroyed by fire. A sign suggestive of anything, delineation of a thing, representation, figure, copy, an example for imitation, right? An example for imitation, like a man does things and his son follows him. That's how you learn, by example. That's how you learn the language. That's how the culture. You follow the people that are older than you. You follow your mother. Your mother teaches you. Your father teaches you. Your brothers and your sisters older than you teach you. And they use examples. It says of the thing to be imitated. For a what? For a warning of a thing to be shunned. So you're supposed to shun the happy people. The Lord says to put them to death, stone them to death. So we know that this place is done, man. There's somebody made a statement. I mean, it's probably a saying that anytime when you go to the history, anytime a society, collapsed, it was during a time when there was like a sexual, like how can I say? Like you can do anything that you want. You can dress up. You can be a man, dress up like a woman. You can change your plumbing. Now they're pushing what the United States is pushing is for little kids, for happy people, men dress up with women, teaching kids that it's all right. So this place is done, just like Rome. This is Rome all over again, and this place is done. Then you got an old, decrepit individual that's the president. Then you got a black woman, and she was the one that went to Africa trying to push that thing to Uganda. And something's going to happen to Uganda. They're going to do something. They got sanctions against them now. So that's that fornication. And it has nothing to do with the charagma. It has nothing to do with the M to the A to the R to the K. That's a technical thing, which is a sin. One thing has nothing, Revelation 17, 4 and 5, or the fourth verse, has nothing to do with Revelation 13, 16 and 17. Has nothing to do with two different things. Two different things. So now, let me come back to what I was. So let me come back here. So there's lessons within lessons. So I went into a lot of different things, a lot of twists and turns. Isaiah 58 verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure, like I said, it could be, it's a Sabbath. Well, I'm gonna do a game of golf, or I'm gonna. You can't wash your car on that day. Now, you can go places because you got to go to places, but you ain't gonna joyride. Let me hop in the car and let's go for a joyride. No, because that's doing your own pleasure. Or let's go. Let's take the scenic route to the Carvel, 10 miles away, and we're going to have some ice cream. Guess what? That's doing I wouldn't eat ice cream necessarily. I mean, now, if you eating something and you normally eat ice cream, you eat ice cream. It's just ice cream, right? It means you got to be holy on that day. You're a holy vessel unto the Most High. There's a reason why it said when you come up to the mountain, which is holy, that Moses was on, he said, come not at thy wife for 3 days. Why did he say that? Because they had to come to him holy. Because if you have sex with a woman, you are defiled, you are polluted until the evening. The Most High said, 3 days don't come. Before you go to war, don't lay with your wife for 3 days. And then go to war. Boxers used to do that. I don't know if they do it today, but they go to, back in the day, they used to go to camp, boot camp, up in the woods. There wouldn't be no woman up there. Couldn't sneak in no woman, nothing, because their dedication is to that fight. They want to have all this strength. Give not thy strength to the woman. It says, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure, on my holy day. So the Sabbath is a what? Is a holy day. That's why it's mentioned in Leviticus 23. It mentions those holy days. The first day it mentioned, which is based upon the new moon, is the Sabbath. So the Sabbath is just not a regular day. It's a holy day. Do you have sex on the Passover? Are you getting it in on the Passover? Are you getting it in on the Day of Atonement? The Passover is a holy day. The Day of Atonement is a holy day. The Purim is a feast. Like if Vocab Malone dropped dead, we ain't gonna say, okay, every year we're gonna have a celebration of Vocab Malone is the Sabbath. No, we're gonna have a joyous day on that day. It says in call, and all the camps would be happy that all of us, none of us talk shit about each other on that day if the Most High takes that big head nigga out. And call the Sabbath a what? A what? A delight. And call the Sabbath the delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine what? Thine own ways, not playing around the golf, not playing video games, not watching the fight, not going to the movies. Now, if there's a documentary on and you want to learn, leisurely watch the documentary, but your focus is supposed to be on the Most High. What did the Lord do on the Sabbath when he opened up Isaiah 61? He didn't have, if he was dealing with a woman, he wasn't going to have no sex on that day. And shall honor him. Your focus is on him, not doing thine own ways. Not doing thy own ways. Not doing thy own ways. Nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words. The Super Bowl's coming up. I'm just using that as an example. Super Bowl. Who you got in the Super Bowl. And it's on a Sabbath. You ain't supposed to be talking about the details of the Super Bowl and the top players. Like this past year was Kansas City Chiefs versus the Eagles, and everybody said the Eagles is going to win. I said, nah, the Eagles ain't going to win. Kansas City with my boy Patrick Mahomes. I said, nah. I said the KC going to win. So if I'm having a discussion on that, I can't be having that discussion on a Sabbath. Okay? I can't be having that discussion. So if somebody says that, I said, remember, it's a Sabbath, brother. If you leisurely look at a woman, we said it. Said, remember, brother, it's a Sabbath. Remember, it's a Sabbath. So the Sabbath is a high holy day. So why, out of all things, you're gonna get it. You can be put to death for picking up sticks, but you can get it in with your woman. So let's pull out a couple of words in the end. As if thou turn away from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure, and call the Sabbath a delight. Let's deal with the word delight. Watch what's going to happen, man. Watch how many of these guys are going to be sifted out of there. Scripture said, cursed be the man that trusteth the man. Anything this guy says, you just go with it. Let's deal with the word delight. And the word there is ainog. Exquisite delight, daintiness, delight, pleasantness, luxury. I believe in luxuries, inside joke. Luxury. That's why you don't go shopping on that day. You don't do any buying and selling on that day. Delight, pleasant. And that doesn't mean eat rocks. Oh, the the Feast of Tabernacles, you ain't living luxurious, man. You're gonna have to dwell in tents in tents. You're gonna have to dwell in tents out there. So in the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna be living beautifully, you know. On that when that high holy day comes, you in your castle, you're gonna have to give all that up. You're gonna have to give all that up for a week. And you're gonna have to live, you know, like you're homeless. You're gonna have to live like you're homeless, man. And that's a beautiful thing because that humbles you. So we're gonna boast in their glory. We shall boast ourselves, but we're gonna be humble too, and we're gonna be happy about living like homeless for a week. We're gonna be happy because we're doing it for to honor Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Like in my mind, I said, well, if I in this world, if I become super rich, you know, and I have a mansion and I have a yacht, and this, that, and the other. And I always say this to myself, I'm gonna have my room that how I used to live. I'm gonna have a basic room, but I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be in there most of the time. Because that luxurious living is really for women. That's what cities are about. Cities are for women. Isn't a city, a major city, isn't it called a mother city? It's feminine, man. So it says here, let me read this. Okay, so we're familiar with both of these. So so on the Sabbath, I mean um, the tabernacles. You matter of fact, let's go to that. Let's go to that law. Let's deal with that law. The tabernacles. Let's go to Leviticus 23. Bear me for a minute. Okay, so tabernacles 33. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Why Yah Debar Yahweh al Masha Wa Amar. That's in the Hebrew. If you let me click on it and show you that if I said it the right way. Why Yah Debar, and he spake Yahweh, and he spake Yahweh al unto Masha Moses la or to Amar say, and he spake Yahweh spake out unto Moses to say. So I remember the Hebrew. I'm rusty, but I still remember it. It says, speak unto, now that's right here. That's why the etymology is so important. The word that should be there is bunyam. Now they say, when you click on it, say bun, which is son of Israel. But you can use that too. Israel is my son. But really it's supposed to be bunyam, sons of Yasha Allah, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the feast of tabernacles. For what? For 7 days unto Yahweh, a week. On the first day shall be an holy convocation, meaning the Sabbath. You do not do your delight on that day. You do not have sex on that day. You do not pick up sticks on that day. You can pick up rocks if you're going to stone somebody, and you can stone somebody to death on the Sabbath. Because a lot of those laws were immediate. Two men laying with each other. It's a Sabbath. You said, man, look at this shit. Let's get these fucking rocks. Let's bury these niggas. And you know, take you about 2 minutes. You know, they're gonna be fighting, then they're gonna get weak, and then you just keep throwing them rocks at them two niggas. And then when they die, you get rid of them. Get rid of them, man. And you had motherfuckers with smiles on their faces, man. Oh, we get to kill somebody else. This motherfucker, in their mind, motherfucker. And they did that in one, it was on YouTube in Africa, some place in Africa. They found out this one guy was a Mo, and they caught his ass out there, and they hit him with everything but the kitchen sink. And I think they hit him with the kitchen sink. And a police car went, slowed down, and kept going. Oh, they killed another faggot. Hey, that's all right. And then they took a tire and put it on his neck and set the tire on fire. And the guy was fighting. He was fighting, but then he got too weak. His cardio was low. And then he was just sitting there, and they had that anger in their faces, and some of them had smiles, and they were pummeled with rocks. And like I said, the final act was they put a tire around his neck and they set that shit on fire, and they buried that nigga somewhere. They ain't bury him with his family. They put him somewhere else where all the happy people go. And see, this act that the U.S. did and going to another sovereign country telling them what they got to do. Oh, now it's the big thing is in Jamaica too. In Jamaica, they trying to push that shit, and Benjamin ain't having it. Because why? Because Benjamin are Israelites. They that's was it Romans 2:14, I believe. They are a law unto themselves. The Gentiles, having not the law, become a law unto themselves, meaning they know that it ain't right to be a bati boy. Ye shall do no servile work therein. That means having sex on the first day. Now the rest, now that the end of that first day, you can get with your wife, even though you're in the tabernacle. You can get with your wife in the middle of that 7-day period. It says 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire, but you can still do what you want to do. You can work, you can do what the hell you want, you can do what the hell you want to do unto Yahweh. On the 8th day, they shall be an holy convocation. So the first day, and it's just like the Passover, the same setup. The 8th day shall be a what? A holy gathering unto you. So you don't have sex on that day. In the middle, the first day you don't have sex. The second day you can have sex. The third day you can have sex. The fourth day you can have sex. The 8th day, which is the 7th day at evening, you cannot have sex. And ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a solemn assembly. Solemn means a solemn. It doesn't mean to be solemn or serious all throughout the week, but on that first day, it's a solemn day. The 8th day is a solemn day, a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Let's look up the word solemn. Cursed be the man that trusted the man. Be like the church of Berea. That's why the Apostle Paul had more honor of the church, respect for the church of Berea than for Thessalonica, which was about 40 miles away from each other. They were neighbors. He said, look, Berea is deeper than y'all in the scriptures, man. The worst group of Israelites that Paul had to deal with was Corinth. He had to do a First Corinthians and then a Second Corinthians because they were way the hell off. That was the worst church he had to deal with. Convocation means a holy calling, a gathering, a calling. They blow the trumpet and you gathered. Yeah, what the hell? Okay, solemn. This is what I want, solemn. Solemn assembly. Sacred, right? Assembly, solemn, sacred, sacred. Assemblage, company, group, sacred. Sabbath is a sacred day. New moon is a sacred day. Itazar, to restrain, retain, close up, shut, withhold, refrain, meaning don't do what you want to do. Stay, detain, right, detain. You can't do what you want to do on those days. To restrain, halt, stop, to retain, to be restrained, be stayed, be under restraint. So you just can't do whatever the hell you want to do on the Sabbath. Perfect example is Yahushua, and I believe that's Luke 4. The night before that, he wasn't dealing with a woman. He knew that the Sabbath came in. And then that morning he got up and he went to the temple and he read the Torah. How the hell are you going to read it? In the kingdom, we're going to be doing that. Every Sabbath, we're going to read from the Torah. So that 7th day, you ain't going to be living. Look, the Esau's going to get a break on that day. They're going to honor the Sabbath more than you because they're going to get their asses whipped on that day. Everybody going to honor the laws of the Most High. At first, they're going to buck up to it, but enough of them is going to get their head bashed in that. And if we knock out that whole generation, we'll take your children. We'll start from scratch. Anyway, the Most High going to do some damage to you guys that's playing games, and you guys that if you took the bag, the Most High is going to destroy you and the work of your hand. Let me try something. I know I believe Peter said that. Let's see what comes up. That's a bunch of time. Wow. All right, let me do it this way. It's in Peter somewhere. Damn. Scarcely. I deliberately spelled it wrong. Bear me for a minute. The righteous scarcely be saved. Boom. I knew it was Peter. So let me. Okay, so she just said it. So let me go to it. I'll start from the 17th verse. 1 Peter 4, verse 17, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? The gospel of the Most High is a whole book. So if you're playing games with the book, if you're adding or taking away from the book, judgment is going to come upon your head. And if the righteous, the elect, the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly among our people and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of the Most High commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. In other words, when the Sabbath comes, keep it holy. So judgment is upon your head, IUIC, for teaching that. Or any groups out there that's teaching that. That's a solemn day, man. It says, if the righteous scarcely be saved. Let me look up the word scarcely. Then I'm going to close it. I went long. With difficulty, hardly, not easily, i.e., scarcely, very rarely, scarce, have much work, scarcely. Scarcely meaning you just you're gonna get saved in the nick of time. And that's how when the missiles come, the ships are gonna come. We're gonna see the missiles in the air, and we're gonna get nervous, and we're gonna think, "Oh my goodness, we're gonna die." And then the ships are gonna come. Everything gonna be moving fast. The ships are gonna come, and the ships are gonna beam us up. The elect, we're gonna get beamed up. And when that happens, y'all look, Bishop Nathaniel's not going to be calling the Most High in Christ blessed. Because I'm going to tell you something. You can say the Most High is Christ in Christ blessed, you ain't going to make it. We're going to be saying Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayim, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And then you're going to remember the works that you did, because the Most High promised you, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. So you guys that fell off and you're not doing this thing no more, you're not going to make it. And you're gonna remember the name of the Most High, and you're going to say, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and you're going to be there. And then you're going to notice people being beamed up around you, and then you notice that you ain't going to get beamed up. And you're Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And it ain't nothing gonna happen. Then all of a sudden, the ships are gonna leave, the missiles are gonna come, and you're gonna be on fire. And then the next thing you're gonna remember, you're gonna be in the spiritual realm, and then you're gonna be a newborn baby in the kingdom of heaven. So this is not a joke. You don't joke around with this word, man. You don't lead people astray. Hey, if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. So you ones that are following this blind individual, this false teacher, you're going to suffer what he's going to suffer, because you blindly followed him, man. You was not like the church of Berea. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.